if the problem is that you need an add-on to play your character, maybe you should make characters easier to understand and play.
That is absolutely true. The amount of bloat in retail is insane. So much, it's insane. Let's see what Asmund says, because
Wait,
Asmund,
what? Breaking news.
Asmund's pretty fried at one.
Is implementing a rotation assistant? Single button assistant?
Lives a WoW guild and a content creator as well.
You know, it
I'm
probably is
game
perfect
director
for
on
him.
WoW.
I'm not gonna
It's
lie.
a pleasure to be here with you guys.
Very excited to be here.
It's probably very true.
So what are we doing in 11.1.7?
Like, this
A
is
whole bunch
made
of
for
fun
him.
stuff, but one of the features that we're extra excited about is a new UI option that we're adding called Rotation Assist, which is really designed to help players who are maybe picking up.
Enables highlights that suggest the spell to cast.
Yeah.
So it tells you how to play the game.
I mean, the thing about it, there's literally an
or
add-on
want
that
some
does
guidance
this.
on
What?
abilities they should be using when, without having to turn to third-party add-ons for it.
Like,
so we've seen that, there's an add-on called Hekili that is very popular with a lot of players. We're basically building in a very similar version of that into the base UI that you can opt into. That will, no matter what DPS spec you're playing, highlight the recommended next ability,
I think
given
it is
your
bad
current
overall,
energy,
but it's
what's going on
doesn't
around you,
actually
and so
affect
forth.
anything.
One
The game
extra
is
thing
so
we're
far
also
gone,
going
it
to do,
doesn't
which
even
maybe
matter.
goes a bit beyond
No, this
what
isn't
the
April
add-ons
Fools.
can do, is also have a one-button
Because at first I had the same reaction here, like, this is ridiculous. Like,
version of that, where they'll be.
But wait for the chart he makes. He makes a chart.
Oh my god! Single button assistant.
Like a keybind that if you just want almost an auto rotation,
So
can
you get to play the game with a garage door opener now.
opt into that, and it will just automatically cast the next recommended ability in the sequence. There'll be a small GCD penalty associated with that, but we want to make sure that this is for accessibility purposes, that it's there
I
for
swear
people who
it's really
maybe
good for
just
bots,
honestly aren't
and
interested
it's
in
really
the
good for
gameplay of like
casual
mastering
players.
their spec. They
But
want to explore
not gonna,
Azeroth
like, make a
and
difference.
experience the story, and the mechanics kind of get in the way of that sometimes. This should be for them. Ideally, this is not a tool where someone is like being told by their raid leader to stop trying to DPS manually.
It's great for disabled people like Bean. What do you mean? Let's see what he says. Because at first I had this same
This is
reaction.
not a tool where
I was
someone is
dude,
like
this is
being
fucking
told by
fried.
their
What are
raid
we
leader
talking
to
about?
stop trying to DPS manually and just turn on the
Well,
one
I
button
don't think
mode
he's
to
seeing,
meet some
like,
DPS check.
It's crazy because it is for casuals like him. Like like he is a casual WoW player.
that-
Like if you not anymore really, but like when he played, like like
They want to give you the tool.
Well, of course they would be.
casual don't want it. What, I mean, why? Like, they don't
No,
have
of
to
course.
use it.
Ian's wrong. So because, okay, so this is what would happen, right?
Okay, let's see.
Is that, so the red line is the artificial one button DPS.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, this makes sense. Sure.
And this is manual.
Yeah. Sure.
So if you are inside of this area here, you will be told by your raid leader, just turn on the one button mode, stop trying to play the game yourself. And
Okay.
if you're not in this mode,
I mean, the funny thing is, that's a lot of people need that. Hey, some people, guys, Crash Out Raid literally needs this in Classic. Like, I've seen the DPS. Like, yeah, like that section he highlighted. Yeah, like motherfucking ass, use it.
and you're over here, you're going to be told to do it yourself. How does he?
okay.
How the fuck? Like, these are the best players that have played the game for 20 years. How the fuck do you guys not see this obvious graph?
I don't understand what he's arguing. Like, it helps people improve because when you use the ability, it shows you what to do. So you'll visually see it, right? Like, you'll visually see what your character's doing, and then you can eventually learn more than just going to Wowhead. Like, it's crazy because the bottom half of the chart, yeah, you could tell them to go to Wowhead. Okay, but that's like a third-party different thing, right? Or you could just tell them to turn this on and just pay attention to what it's doing and then try to recreate it. Like, to increase the DPS, if you're doing low DPS, you're going to go do research on Wowhead to look up your literal rotation. It doesn't teach you. Doesn't it show the icons of what it's using? You know what I'm saying? Let's
What
continue.
the hell is going on?
Yeah, I know he's talking about one button, but isn't it? I don't know how. I mean, I haven't played the one button, but like, doesn't it? It looks like it shows the icons of what it's doing, right? So you would visually see what the rotation is going through, which would be visually learning what the rotation is. Just like if you go to Wowhead and you look up the rotation, it shows the fucking buttons. It's the same thing. So it's like he's mad about nothing here, because if they were doing that lower chart DPS, the raid leader would tell, go to Wowhead and look up your fucking rotation, or just press the one button and look at the rotation and then just do it better.
It's crazy.
He's saying if you do good DPS, your raid leader. If you do good DPS, your raid leader will make you not use the rotation. But like, if you're doing your damage rotation right, like you're doing more DPS than the one button would do, right? So you wouldn't be told to do it. But like, if you're doing less than the one button would do, you'll be told to do the one button to learn your rotation to then eventually manualize it, right? Let's see what else.
Manually and just turn on someone that sometimes. This should be for them. Ideally, this is not a tool where someone is like being told by their raid leader to stop trying to DPS manually and just turn on the one button mode.
That is going to happen.
Absolutely will be.
Yeah, that is going to happen, absolutely. But it's the same thing. Some people suck in our casual. I guarantee if you put Asmongold in a hardcore, like a hard raid, like I guarantee he would be doing like one of the least damage, even if he was trying right now. Like, and the raid leader would tell him to put it on, or he would go look up the fucking rotation. But honestly, he'd be too lazy to look up the rotation. So this button is perfect for someone like him. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That we want to give you the tools to kind of.
I remember I even did this with my mom, because she was like, I don't know how to DPS. I say, okay, hit Starfire. After you're done hitting Starfire, hit it again. Just do that.
It's not classic no more.
And yes, the best Moonkin rotation was more complex than that. But her interpretation of that rotation was worse than her just spamming Starfire.
Okay.
So I just had her spam Starfire.
Okay.
And everything was fine.
Okay.
Yeah, bro, I invented this in 2009.
It doesn't even make sense, because he's not doing. He's not even talking about a rotation. This does the rotation, which in turn naturally teaches you. I just this. I understand initially hearing this, because I was pretty pissed about this as well. I was not like pissed, but like just like, what the fuck is this? It's just, I don't think he's thinking logic. Like, this isn't like. Is it bad for the game? Maybe. But it's the same thing as a player getting on a new class and just going to Wowhead and reading all this information. You know what I'm saying? Play a little more.
Through that organic progression naturally.
Great. But so the rotation assist doesn't come with a penalty or anything like that. That's just we're going to show you what your next button is.
Yeah,
exactly. It's very similar to the Healy add-on. It's kind of reflecting
what
the latest
is, but
kind of established theory
thing.
crafting, and it's something that we would continue to update, with spec changes and class changes over time. Ideally, it all's born out of the idea that we've seen a valuable tool that players feel like they should be looking outside the game to download, and we'd rather just reduce the barriers to that and make it available to everyone.
I think that's the thing. I think this is fine. I think I'm looking at like the new players who enter World of Warcraft retail. They're overwhelmed with so much shit, and if they have no friends and no connections and they're trying this game, they're not going to know what the fuck Wowhead is. They're not going to know what the fuck Helix is. I don't even know what the fuck Helix is. Like they're not going to know this shit. So something in game that's obviously not going to be perfect, right? It's going to be outdated soon. Blah blah blah. Helki, whatever the fuck. It's going to help them learn the game. And yeah, sure, Grayson says let them be dog shit. They're still going to be dog shit unless they really want to learn the game, right? Like, a lot of people are absolutely okay with being dog shit. Like you on Warrior, right? Like, there's a lot of people who are absolutely okay not getting, like, rank 14, not doing the grind, right? Like, there's people who are like, not okay with that, right? And there's people who will learn. And this is just a base to learn more, and if you want to get better, you can use it and use the knowledge it's given you to learn more, or you can just be a dog shit.
This game is so lost, it's actually insane. It's actually crazy to me that we are even in this position. It is so cooked that I can't even believe it. So why don't we try to employ a little bit of higher level thinking here?
Okay, let's see.
if the problem is that you need an add-on to play your character, maybe you should make characters easier to understand and play.
That is absolutely true. That is absolutely true. Retail is so bloated with absolute dog shit. That is absolutely true. Like, the amount of bloat in retail is insane. So much, it's insane. I absolutely agree. All right.
Have you ever thought about that?
That's true.
Maybe you don't need...
And I'm a big thing of, like, honestly, sometimes in a lot of cases, simpler is better. I mean, guys, we have people like C2X, who's a professional for like 12 years, who somehow, in the timeline of World of Warcraft, this man has never used the add-on Gladiator Losa, which is something that calls out old cooldowns and shit like that. It's considered a noob add-on for PvPers, but it does help PvPers. Like, it's a good helper add-on. We have someone who's C2X, who is literally using Gladiator Losa now from never using it in his life to the point where the game is so bloated and filled with just random dog shit where you can't track shit on your own anymore, to using Gladiator Losa in Arena. Like, it's actually insane. That specific example of fucking Sidu, the Omega Giga Chad PvPer for fucking 12 plus years or 15 years, to literally using an add-on to help him play. It's like he's in a senior fucking camp or something. Like, what are we talking about? Why does he need this add-on now? The game has absolutely gone so fucking fried and far, at least in PvP terms, because, you know, a lot of it obviously is for PvE. But in PvP terms, it is so trash.
Need 50,000 fucking buttons and rotations and pop-ups and, you know, special. Oh, no. You know, like, that's it. So basically, they're creating a problem, and now they have to solve the problem that they've created.
Actually, not a bad take. It's true. It is true.
Yes, it's just insane.
It is true.
It's basically like all Blizzard had to do was make a wheel. But they couldn't do a wheel. They had to make a hoverboard. In order to make a hoverboard, you have to have the right kind of wood. And then so then you need a seatbelt for the hoverboard because sometimes people can fall off the hoverboard.
This is actually
and what
true.
if the
He's
hoverboard goes too fast? Okay, well, you have to have a speed limiter on the hoverboard. And then on top of that, what are you going to use for fuel? How much is the fuel going to cost?
It is actually true. Like, this is actually true. Like when you look at Cataclysm, Wrath, TBC is a little bit different than those. But even MOP, like, I even had this conversation with Sidu yesterday on stream. I was like, yo, are you going to be using Gladiator Losa and MOP? He's like, no, because you don't really need it. Like, you can play the game normally and you don't need this extra shit because it's not as bloated. It's not a hoverboard with gas and all this shit, you know, all this shit like that. And I agree with this take.
For the hoverboard. And this is all, we're doing all of this stuff.
Because Asman had a bad take at first, and now he has a good take. I mean, sorry, am I fucking retarded for understanding that people have different opinions? It's not just when you listen to someone's opinion, it's not just a static, oh, I hear the first thing, I'm going to disagree with everything else. You have to use your fucking brain, fat ass. And sometimes people have good and bad takes in arguments.
Just thinking about how to make a wheel. It is crazy.
It's just true.
The amount of gymnastics that they're going through.
What he's saying here is absolutely true, and if you disagree, you're just not a PvPer or something. They have absolutely overcomplicated this game to an unnecessary extent.
In order to appease these top 0.001% players that play the game as a job instead of making the game better for everybody.
And that's not even fully true. Maybe PvE-wise, but in PvP, the game has been dog shit for like 6-7 years. And it's because PvE is priority, so they make stuff catered to PvE, which in turn makes PvP basically PvE, which is what we see.
This needless, unnecessary complexity that can only be basically responded to with further needless, unnecessary complexity and weird systems that simply remove gameplay from the game. It's insane. How the fuck did this happen?
See, I agree with this. Okay, it is insane. I don't think the add-on itself is bad because of how the game is. So specifically, I'm talking here about the thing they're adding, whatever they are, the auto rotation. I don't think that is specifically bad because of how bad the game is and how hard overwhelming it is to like learn new characters and all that. I don't think the thing specifically itself is bad, but I think it is the game's fault, and they're trying to bandage fix it, or it's trash. But he's right; the overall game is trash, which is why they pretty much have to make something like this, or like way overcomplicated than it needs to be. I mean, they don't need to do it, but people are using add-ons to do it. So they want to eliminate that third party. So I don't think it's a toxic thing because majority of people with add-ons will use it. And if they don't know what the add-on is, then you're probably absolutely new, right? Like, or have, you're probably new and you won't find that out until RNG, someone tells you about it or something like that, right? So at least having it in game is good for people who are new and trying to play the game. Obviously the people with the add-on are probably still going to use the add-on because the add-on is probably going to be better, right? I don't even know what I never even heard of that add-on. You know what I'm saying? Like it would be complete RNG to like randomly hear that add-on. So I think this is good for new players, and they will still be shit. But it gives them an opportunity. It basically just eliminates having to go to Wowhead, right? Like because when you log on a new class, when I log on a new class in Kata, when I started my Kata thing. What I do? I went to Wowhead. I was like, "What's my rotation? Like, what's my shit?" And yeah, you could replace it with that. Would I replace it with an auto rotation? No, but I would do my research and anyway.
Okay,
I don't think the add-on
there's
is
two parts,
so
right?
bad.
Like
It's just sad that the game
advanced
requires
is,
that.
I want to really go into
not
this as the
require
one
it,
button
but-
thing, but that's not necessarily everyone that's going to use this. Like I think this game, especially new players getting into it, there's a lot going on within a particular class, and you can be a little lost trying to figure out exactly what I should be pressing. So even just using it as
that's true.
Then shouldn't you address that problem rather than introduce a solution to remove it?
I agree with this, but the game since Legion, like Grayson said, it's been gone. There's this, dude. The past 6 expansions are the same fucking system. If they want to actually prune it and make the game good again, they have to get off their system, which would require money because they're printing money by copy pasting and putting different skins on all the time. Why would they change what's working for them? Unfortunately, working for them because PvEers like it or whatever. Why would they change it? They could just add an add-on and let it keep going on and keep copy pasting. Dude, they announced the next 3 expansions. Like what world are we? You know why they can announce the next 3 expansions? Because they're copy pasting and putting another skin on them. Like we're in Call of Duty expansions. Yeah, we are in Call of Duty expansions. Like we are just getting copy pasted all the time. They change a few. I remember logging. What was the last expansion? Dragonflight into this. You guys remember my crash how I logged in? Because everyone's like, "Oh my god, new talent trees." You look at the abilities of the talent trees, and they're just moved around. There's no different buttons. I logged on Feral. I had 0 different buttons, dude. I had 0 different buttons. And everyone's praising Blizzard. Oh my God, these new talent trees. They're the same thing, just different. And it's so insane. And this is why I think a lot of people are NPCs, because they really are. It's insane how much mind control this shit has, where they just copy, paste, change things that literally don't fucking matter at all. Appearance changes, and people are like, oh my God, it's a new expansion. It's not. It's a new fucking patch, dude. Like, it's crazy. And they're just milking
I think that's a
tons
design
of money.
problem. If
It
a
is.
person can't, like, easily understand how to play their
Yes.
character in a video game, maybe that's a problem with the way the game is
I
designed.
mean, that is true.
WoW has such a high skill ceiling that just recommend.
Why? For who?
I think having a high skill ceiling is fine, but I don't think
For
it needs
these
to be
people that you constantly talk to, that are these people play your game as a job. And you're constantly listening to them on how to maintain that complexity. This is so distorted. It's
I'm not gonna lie. From a PvP perspective, I absolutely wish that the devs listen to top players. Because man, if you go to my Twitter, I no, because from a PvP perspective, and any real PvPer knows, bro, those devs don't exist. They do not listen to good. They are retarded, or have been. Were. I used to tweet every day to try to get shit fixed, to try to get this. Dude, I don't know if you guys even remember MC Bug. That shit was in the game for years, and they couldn't fix it. Like, he's probably talking from a PvE perspective, which I don't know. But, like, the PvP perspective of the game forever has been these devs feel like they hate you. Like any time you try to give the devs that you get completely ignored. Nothing changes. They have no idea if they even accepted the feedback. It's insane. It's insane. But did the really high players suggest this? Is that what he's saying? Did they suggest that this one button? Like what is he? I don't understand what he's saying. Is he saying the Method team and the Liquid team or whatever suggested this? Am I retarded? I mean, listen to what he's saying here.
On how to maintainly talk to.
Listen to this.
For these people that you constantly talk to, that are these people play your game as a job. Mm-hmm. And you're constantly listening to them on how to maintain that complexity. This is so distorted, it's unreal.
Okay, so I think you're right, I'm wrong. I think he's actually talking about how complex the game is, maybe, or how bloated the game is, more than, I don't think he's talking about the add-on. He's talking about why the add-on exists, because the game is so complex, because you're talking to these players and they want it to be more complex or something like that. I think that's what he's saying, I guess. Which, I mean, sure, I don't know if that's what's going on, but yeah, maybe.
What the next ability isn't going to really remove that or fully solve that. There's still the muscle memory that you need to form, and then all of the nuances of, like, we might have a recommendation for a rotation that makes sense if you're fighting a target enemy, you're fighting patchwork.
It would be.
But when you need to plan around the fact that you're going to have to move in 4 seconds, that's a whole different layer of skill that still rests with players.
Yeah, I know when I'm trying to play a new spec for the first time or haven't played it in years, it often feels like I've got a 30-minute checklist of, okay, I got to set up my keybinds, got to make sure, this ability's changed since 2 expansions ago.
I mean that is what you do. I mean, that is
so
what you do.
Close. They're so close. They almost understand. You're so fucking close to solving the problem.
I got to rebind that, and then I got to go and read some guides and figure out how all my new.
I mean, honestly, he's not wrong. They are close. I mean, he's not wrong here. They are the guy. How is this guy is talking? Is like, yeah, maybe the game is a little complex. Got to go read guides.
Here's how the new set bonus works. So, I could see it being really nice to just have a.
So it would be really nice to just have a button that just does everything for you. Why not make it easier so you don't need the button?
That's Ion? I have no idea. He's not wrong here. The game is just
what the fuck is it? This is...
This is a way to jump into some content to do with your friends and have it work out nice and easily.
Is that right?
One thing that jumps out.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't think this. I don't think the button itself is gonna be a problem. Is it weird? Yeah. But that fact too. If you ever have a LAN party and no one has WoW, and you're like, oh, let's play WoW together. Oh yeah, just put this on and it's kind of lame. It's lame. I don't think it's harmful, really. Maybe even weirdly necessary because of how overcomplicated the game is for noobs and shit like that. But I think the main issue Asmon's trying to tackle here, which I agree with, is the game is way too fucking overcomplicated. For a casual logging into retail, you are so overwhelmed with all these systems, with all you have to do. Not even just the rotation yet. I guarantee if a new player ever logged on retail and didn't look up any guide and just tried to play the game, he would be so bad for a while. A while.